Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Beelection coverage, where we're going to talk about bees and just watch the people scroll across the screen because everybody's going to vote different and have their own opinion, and we got to respect that. So, anyway, how's everybody doing? I actually had some rest today, so I feel pretty good, even though I have to get up early in the morning and go to work. But other than that, everything's going good. Hopefully everybody's bees are doing well. And, here we're expecting rain for the next 4 days or so. And, bees are tucked in, got a little feed on them and keeping it going. So I figured we would just stream this. And matter of fact, I should have been a little bit more prepared. Hold on one second. I'll get things organized over here and try to open up another tab where I can go to my channel, to my stream. I actually started a bit early, which, just happened. Let's see. Usually I'm late, so, let's see. Let's hide this. Let's do an invite in case anybody wants to jump in here. And we will paste this over here. And we will pin it. So there we go. And I'll come back over here. So, at any rate, things are going pretty well. I just want to show you a couple of things before we get started and people start joining what I've got. So, 2 new products on the website. We've got this. It's called Hygienic Boost. You put this entire package in a gallon of water and spray your frames, and it assists. This is the stuff Todd's been talking about for wax moth on your frames. It's pretty reasonable compared to other products on the market. Just to give you an idea, this is 100 grams, and compare it to a biocontrol package, how much you get in there. So it's pretty big. Smaller packaging, but it's better. So, and then the other one is the Beagra. It's a supplement for feeding your honeybees with vitamins. It's a pre-mixed powder. It says that you add 3 grams per liter of sugar syrup. So I believe 2 liters is approximately a gallon, right? So you'd put 6 grams, and there is 453 grams in here. It feels heavier than a pound to me, but it says a pound. So 453. Let's see if I can pull the calculator up over here. Oops, let's put it in here. Calculator. 453 divided by 6. One of these should do 75 gallons of feed, and it's $20. So that's pretty good value. So got both of those on the website. Anyway, I see people joining in. Let me add Tom here. Sorry to keep you waiting, Tom. How's it going, buddy?
Going good, Bob. Sounds like you're doing good.
Well, I feel pretty good after having a little bit of a rest today, and a little bit excited to see what happens in the elections here. Either way, I don't know. I'm kind of a pessimist when it comes to politics, and to be honest with you, I don't feel like any candidate has done me much justice, much favors in the past. As far as any president, any election, anything like that, I don't feel like they've made a difference to me. So, mainly because it's election night, I've got it streaming on the screen just so people that are interested in this can also get their bee fix and keep up with the politics at the same time, right? They don't have to, well, I'm going to skip the Beechat tonight and go watch politics when they can just watch the scroll on the screen.
2 for 1.
So how's your bees doing?
My bees doing good. I'm overwintering 34 hives, the most ever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I am not. I'm at 22. So that's where we're at, man. We're just working with it. So hey, your mic's a little bit low tonight.
My,
Yeah, your mic's a little quiet to me. I don't know if
you're
everybody
loud,
else
you're
is.
loud on my end, so I lowered it down some. So let me. All right, how's that?
Yeah, it's better, much better.
Okay.
So, it's politics. You ask 100 people, they're going to have 100 different opinions, and that's not what this is about. This is just information, right? Information for people that are interested. That's it. The main focus is I actually thought about doing some kind of poll where like people could vote, but it was on their favorite like plastic frame, their favorite foundation, their favorite, that kind of thing. But then I was like, man, I would be constantly putting up polls on YouTube to have that happen, right? So it was a little bit challenging and a little bit more work than I wanted to put in as far as doing a stream and keeping up with it. But we could still talk about that kind of thing. So, as far as people in the chat, if you have a favorite plastic frame, we're talking all plastic frame, put it in the comments now, and we'll see if we can keep up with it and see what it is. I honestly, with plastic frames, I don't know for me that there's a significant difference in the frame, whether it's Pureco or whether it's something else. I don't know that it's a huge difference, until it comes down to price, right? Then price kind of would be the thing for me.
Yeah, I'm about the same way, Bob. I haven't noticed. I think I got 4 different types. I don't even know what brands I have, because some of them have been free, some of them I bought.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I don't notice much difference in the in what the bees do with them, right? If you don't re-wax them, they're going to peel the wax off of it if they don't get right on it. And for that same thing with foundation, some people swear by the what's the foundation that everybody has been raving about at Hive Life and all those Premier. And I don't notice any difference between that and like Man Lake's Right Cell or anything like that. Now, do the bees notice the difference? I don't know. I know that I got one free at Hive Life, a Premier frame. The first year I put it in a colony, they didn't work it. I had to go re-wax it, put it in the colony, and then they kind of half worked it. And then this year they finally finished it up. So it took them quite a while to get it done. So
the only thing I've noticed on some of the plastic foundations are thinner than other ones, and I like the thicker ones because they don't warp as much.
Right. And well, the Right Cell is pretty rigid. I mean, it's pretty stiff for the most part. But here, when it's 100 degrees out, if you lay it on on something, it's going to blow either way.
Right. Yeah, I don't know where I got these from. I got some thin ones, and I don't care for them too much. Might have been my first couple of years. I bought somebody's.
Let's see. Brian says he's bottling creamed honey and making cinnamon creamed honey.
Oh, that sounds good.
I need to bottle up some more honey. I've sold all of my 3-pounders, except for I think I got 1 or 2 left in the warmer, but all of those, and I think I have like 2 1-pounders left. Everything else is in pint jars, so I have to bottle some of that and get that ready for my wife to sell, apparently, because she does more of the selling now than I do. People come up and she runs out there and sells it to them.
Right, because you're busy.
Yeah, work has been one of those. It is a nasty 4-letter word. Work. It's just, I don't have that many stops, but I still carry, $12,000-13,000 worth of bread out wholesale every week. So that's,
Right.
quite a bit. And plus what you pick up and all the trays you have to load up and all that stuff. So it's, it is quite a bit of work, but we're just doing what we have to do. Keep things rolling around here.
Right.
Keep going.
Well, I think some people know here, but I'm not retiring at the end of the year like I thought. I'm pushing it out to hopefully May, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it that far before I retire.
I think you make it to beginning of April, maybe when bee season starts. You're like, nah, I'm out.
Well, I figure about the middle of April when all those swarms calls start coming in.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm getting them now. I'm getting people calling, but they're so far away, right? They're like an hour away, and they're calling me because they found me on the internet, and they're like, "Oh, I've got bees just got on my porch." Of course, I'm taking my nap during the day, and then all of a sudden I wake up and it's late, and it's like, oh well, those are either gone or something. By the time I get out there, they'd be gone probably.
yeah. I got 2 more hives. I got to winter up still, and that's about it. And I'll be about done for the year. Except for like you're doing, bottling, making cream honey and stuff like that,
Right.
making candles. Haven't done any of that stuff yet.
Is there a new project starting at work? Must be talking to Lee. The acorn, yeah, there's another one, acorn. Um, some people are saying they don't want to see the election results come in, and some people do. Maybe we need to have a vote. That's what we'll do. We'll do a vote on whether or not to show the coverage. All right, let me see if I can put a poll up here. If I can figure out how to do it. Engage with my audience. Start a poll. Ask a question. Watch the results of the election. All right, we're starting a poll now. All right, and we'll give it, I don't know, a few minutes and see what happens. Right out of the gate went 50-50. Boom, yes and no. So for some reason I wasn't showing you on my stream. Are you not on? You're on the stream.
It's only on YouTube.
Oh, maybe I need to be live on my own channel. There we go. 65% right now are saying no. So we'll keep it up for a few minutes and give everybody an opportunity. I can watch it regardless of whether you guys watch it or not because I have multiple monitors. So
I could too.
not that I'm paying much attention to it while I'm talking to you, but no election, just bees.
I am concerned about my bees this going into this winter because it's been so warm and they've been flying so much. Last 2 days it's been in the upper 70s, and
Have you hefted the hives? Or do they have weight on them?
yes, but they're getting lighter and lighter.
You have to throw feed on them, man. That's the only thing that I can
Yeah,
recommend because mine get really light after the honey flow. And if I don't pack some feed in them, they will for sure starve out. And I probably lost some of those starved out, that way.
Problem is the queen's laying big time. They think it's spring. We got flowers blooming all over the place.
We don't have that many flowers right now, and we've had kind of a dry spell after that last storm that came through.
Yeah.
That kind of wrecked North Carolina. We haven't had the rain, so hey, Charlie, and now it decided to rain for 4 days in a row. So maybe we'll get a little bit of a bloom / nectar flow afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering because there's pretty many flowers blooming in the area, and it's like these bees are taking off. I see too many bees doing orientation flights. And usually this time of year, there are not many orientation flights going on.
Let's see. We've got looks like 57%. I can't tell how many people actually voted on the poll though. Let's see. 57% are saying no right now.
Okay,
So
looks like you're gonna have to take it off.
I'm gonna have to take it down. Nobody wants to know. See, that's the problem with America. Nobody wants to know what the hell's going on. Whoops, sorry, wrong thing, Charlie. I meant to remove that. You were the last thing on the end.
Take Charlie off.
Yeah.
So how you doing, Charlie?
Oh, not too bad.
Bees doing good?
Yeah, not bad. I put a couple videos or one video up and one short, and bee population looks good in most of the hives. And hey, Randy, and I vaporized the hives Saturday, all of them, and then I came back and I checked the Mite drops on the chloroplast boards, and I had one nuke and I think 5 of the 10 framers. That the rest of them, when I pull it out, I don't really sit there and count, but I'll pull it out and I'm like, okay, where's the mites? And I'll say, well, there's one there and there's one over here and one here, and maybe there might be 12 to 15 or 20 or something like that on the board. And then the ones that I seen where they were also, I call them high mite. It was a cluster of mites, high density.
We got James in here driving, no video.
I am driving.
We can hear the car.
So with those, I re-vaporized the next day.
So, but overall, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, overall, pretty good.
Have you done any hefts or checked the weights in your colonies?
Yeah, I got plenty of
stores.
Plenty of stores.
You got all the spotted lanternfly honey in there?
Yeah, the lanternfly or whatever honey that came in July and August is in there, and then I put in another 200 gallons of sugar water into them. So I mean, I was going to go into one there. I pulled the middle of the frame up. It was all honey, of course. And then down in there, I was checking to see what population wise, to see how down, not to rely on the bees just up on top.
Right.
And look down in there and they're all covered up everywhere.
That's good.
And
I saw that one video you did and it looked like you had a pretty good population.
Which was it, a short? I did.
Yeah, it might have been a short where you checked and were checking the populations on them.
Yeah, I had 3 different hives that I checked. Yeah, that was just something I thought about doing.
You need to mute James. He's too noisy.
I'm going to ask you. I'm about to ask him how he's doing.
Well, I was going to say I could mute myself there. Actually, I might just log out and log back in because for some reason it didn't connect to my truck tonight. But doing good. I'm on the road to renew my passport. Maybe.
Where you got to go to renew your passport?
Well, I'm up to something again, if you can believe that.
No, not you.
So, yeah, I should be able to pick my passport up hopefully tomorrow if everything goes good. So, but I don't know. I might have to come down to the States again.
Cool. You coming my way or?
Well, I might fly over your place.
Oh, you might be going down to Florida.
Sounds like it.
But well, I'll throw a video out. So, I mean, as you guys know, I've been working on a couple things, and bees is half of my retirement plan. So, I'm working on the winter half now.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I'll throw a video up. I do have that one pretty much done and edited. So I'll throw that one up probably this weekend.
All right. Cool. We'll be looking out for it.
He's looking for a commercial-sized air conditioner unit
I see Ian's got his in. So
for a big bee shed.
but that'll work out good. Like I said, I do have AC and stuff like that in my building already. So
He's buying land in a truckload of honeybees down in Florida.
He's gonna
have
migrate
Bob come down there and escort them back up to Alberta.
there you go.
He's gonna start migrating from, do wintering in Florida.
Yeah, it's going to become a snowbird.
Well, I'll say Charlie's a little bit on the right path, but
He's gonna do bee migration.
you got to think much bigger, Charlie. That's all I can say. Have I ever done anything
like
halfway?
pollination and all that kind of stuff?
Well, you'll.
Don't. I hope you're not buying an orange grove because that ain't going to be any good down there.
No,
but I would say more like he's going to go down there and get himself a Hummer bee and maybe a bee truck.
I'm not a Hummer bee fan. I'm a bee truck, yes, and a hive lifter, yes. I think those are definitely in my my future and Alan's future. But yeah, I think a Hummer bee, like I say, I don't want to have to pull another trailer. So
yeah.
So
well, I'll be looking forward to watching that video and seeing what happens.
Well, I'm learning something old. Let's put it that way. Actually, I can't remember what the name of that lady was that had the YouTube channel when I first started watching. But that used to be what she always said is, don't be afraid to learn something old. So I'm learning something old.
Oh, you're talking about Kaylee.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're talking about Kaylee.
At the Honeystead?
Yeah, the Honeystead.
So
yeah, she's don't be
don't be afraid to learn something old
and get your hands dirty.
There you go. Well, as you guys know, I got no problem getting my hands dirty. But I'm always up to learn something new.
She's still on the air. Yeah, good looking as ever.
Only Charlie. Only Charlie.
So I'm on the road here right now, and Leah's sitting right beside me. So I got nowhere to duck and dive. So
we'll tell Leah we said hello.
Ooh.
The favorite unicorn of Canada. But so where'd you have to go? Calgary or somewhere to renew your passport? May have lost him.
Possibly.
Believe we did lose him.
Like it.
James, we lost you, buddy. We don't even hear your truck in the background anymore. I'm gonna remove him out.
All right.
All right.
He wanted to jump out and come back in anyway.
Let's see. I will. Kick him out. And if he comes back in, maybe he'll be connected then. But yeah, so the same thing. I've just been putting feed on mine and getting them ready, trying to put some weight on them. They were pretty light, and then I put about 4 gallons on each colony so far, and that's it. That's what they're getting.
I've been
That's
around 6 in all mine, and I took them all off, put my winter stuff on, and I think I made a mistake. I still should be feeding.
Well, it usually in the middle of October here is when it starts getting hoodie weather, right? And it starts cooling down. And that has kind of been the case, but we're still getting those 80-degree days. And I remember in the Midwest where when I was a kid, we would trick or treat in the snow sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
So
we get snow in October and November. We get a decent amount of snow, but not this year. Well, at least not yet.
maybe it'll be one of those things where it just switches all of a sudden, you know.
Yeah.
I think we still have a tropical storm supposed to be coming up this way. So we'll see if we get another one or not. Let me see. Trying to, I'm curious how, I mean, isn't it illegal to move bees from the States to Canada?
I think so.
Maybe there's a special kind of permit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I never forgot about that.
So if he brought them down, he wouldn't be able to take them back.
Right.
So that could be a thing. So I don't know. We'll be interested to see what the video is for. Maybe he's just coming down for a vacation. The snowbird thing, right? Coming down over the winter.
A working vacation.
James works everywhere he goes. He's doing some kind of work.
It's a bee vacation.
He's a productive guy. Unlike me. It's hard for me when I get up at 1 and I get home at like 9 in the morning. I still feel like I stayed up all night, right? So I get home, all I want to do is go to bed. So a lot of times I'll get phone calls and stuff in the middle of the day and I'll miss them. Then I'll wake up for, eat dinner, maybe check my emails or whatever and come back. But by 7:30, I'm back in bed usually. If I'm not, then it makes it really hard to get up for work on time.
Right.
Mark says
how's your out yard, Bob?
I was planning to go check that tomorrow, and then the rain set in. So I haven't been out there in a few weeks. Last time I was out there, they had very low hive beetles, very, very low hive beetles, and had 10 colonies flying. So, I mean, it hadn't changed. The only thing I really want to do is I want to load up and take some feeders out there and just throw feed on them as insurance, give them something extra. But, I would like, I'm contemplating going to Cayman Con. So I don't know if I will or not yet. I'm just still debating it, mainly because of time off from work, and more than the time off from work, it's the money, right? That it's making sure I have the funds to do that. And right now things are going okay, but we're making it. We're not really going crazy, but we're making it. So that's the thing that I'm contemplating now. And hopefully I don't do like I did the first year and wait too long and don't have tickets, But we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll hook up with Charlie in the boys and women's, the ladies that watch the stream up there and see. So maybe that's the poll. Let's see. Let's see if I can do a different poll. So let's end this poll. 54% ended up saying no. And we'll start another poll. And say, start a poll. Going to Cayman Con, which is Nabi. And it's just yes and no polls, everybody. So we got that one up now. New poll. And it's 50-50 right now. 55 yes, 58 yes. It's bouncing around. We'll see how it ends up. So right now, 61% no. 60, it's bouncing as people put in their polls. We're watching our own election results right now. So I'll keep a watch on that and see how many people are going. At the first year I went, I really enjoyed it at Hive Life when it was in Tennessee. There's a couple things. How will the Tennessee roads affect my travel if I went? How much time would that add to traveling up to Louisville? Unless I went all the way down to Atlanta and then up that way, right? That's another option. So Lee says he's not going this year. And Steve says it's the timing. It's I had a really good time with Charlie and everybody else, right? Getting to meet you guys for the first time and hang out and
going out to dinner and all.
Going out to dinner and
we had places to go to dinner.
Well, you know what? Out of that conference, I met Lee for the very first time, and we had been doing a stream for almost a year, I guess at that time, almost a year at that time, and got to meet you for the first time, which I've since traveled up and visited you up in Maryland. And did that, and then met James for the first time, and since then James has been down here 2 times. It is fun from that aspect. The only issue you're muted, Tom. The only issue that I wrestle with, and I know Cayman says it, and a lot of people say it, well, if you buy enough when you go, then you basically are paying for your ticket with the savings. And yeah, but you have to buy a lot of stuff to save, $300 on tickets, and however much the hotel is in Louisville, and then the food and the gas, and you got to buy it.
You're never going to save that much.
I could save that at Hive Life because it was only 3.5 hours from me, right? So a little bit different, but it still was a thing. Yeah, I mean, and we did do that. We did walk around doing lives and stuff like that from the show. So it's fun. I enjoy it, but I just don't know that I'll have an extra $1,000 that I can spend outside of what I would spend in equipment, right? Because there's no way I'm going to Hive Life and not buying something. It's just not going to happen, right? I can't even hardly look at Amazon without buying something. Yeah, that's the same thing with me, Rich. I got to pay down the credit cards. So
Matt's coming from Sandy Valley hunting.
Dennis just got his tickets to Nabi.
Matt's out of Missouri.
So right now it's 58% to 42% on the poll. Oh, 60% to 40% no on Nabi right now. So there's a bunch of people that are staying home.
Yeah, Nature's Sweet Bees. If you go to the website there, they have a good amount of all that information on there. If you watched Cayman Sunday, he went over some of that.
Oh,
He did.
Westcliff says he's using his miles for the flight and hotel.
Who?
I should call up the casino and see if I can get a deal on the casino, since when I go to casinos, I'm a frequent flyer there. You're muted, Tom.
No wonder you got no money.
Yeah, we did do a little bit of that this year. So I was surprised. I was really surprised when I came up there and I saw there were some casinos and we didn't make a detour. So that kind of did surprise me that we didn't stop. But that's one of the things I like to do.
Mark says, people I sell honey to know nothing about Navi. That's probably because they're not YouTubers. I mean, think about it. I mean, that's how it all got started. And if you're not on YouTube, you don't know much about what's happening or one of these chats.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in Mississippi last year in Biloxi for the Mississippi State Beekeepers Conference, that when I asked those guys, they're like, they had really no interest in going. They were going to the National Honey Conference, Honey Producers Conference.
NAJP. But you got to remember something. They're commercial. That's what they're worried about. They're worried about how they're going to battle China and get their prices up and that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, all right. Well, that brings us into politics a little bit. So
they have what do you call them, lobbyists and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm just looking at is that one of the things that Trump is talking about if he gets elected with tariffing? You know how they're talking about tariffing imports. Would that be something that would affect that? You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, I know Lloyd belongs to the National Honey Producers Association, and you know, it's more of.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that, buddy. It's
more of the high end business end type of stuff. That's where you're going to see the big guys that do it for a living.
He's going to go after the garbage imports. Okay.
In fact, I think they even stated that what you just mentioned, Charlie, was going to be one of their main subjects. Was China honey coming into states, non-regulated.
Well, they're trying to, you know, keep the American honey price up to where they can make a living at it and stuff like that.
Selling honey versus not selling honey.
You know, all that kind of thing.
Right.
Sean says he's not going for the buying; he's going for the talking. I met Sean at that show as well.
I'm half and half. I mean, I take care of the deals I need.
Yeah, but you're like 45 minutes away. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, a little less than 2 hours, and that's if I take my time.
That's if you stop and get a coffee on the way there.
If I hit the speed like the traffic does, I'd be there an hour and a half.
There you go, Bob. There, look at Barron's. That's
Trump said everyone gets a $1,000 check towards Navi in 2026.
And then Elon Musk is going to gonna put up another $1,000 along with it.
With a Starlink.
No, speaking of Starlink, I saw a video where someone in the Navy, higher ranking enlisted, had a Starlink installed on a Navy ship so they could get Wi-Fi out at sea. And they didn't get approval or tell anybody. They just put it up, right? And the captain was asking because there was like a crazy Wi-Fi showing up on his phone. You know, when you come in range of a thing, it says, "Do you want to connect to this Wi-Fi?" Right? So the captain was asking hey, who did this? And they all pled stupid, right? It's like, I don't know what that is, where that is. And it turns out that all the chief petty officers in the chief's mess chipped in and bought a Starlink for the ship, and they are the only ones that had the Wi-Fi password on it. And they're like, well, I'm pretty sure that the Chinese, when we're out in the Pacific, can find out, hey, there's a Wi-Fi signal in the middle of the ocean. What is that? Where is that coming from, pray tell?
In fact, they could ping the phone to find out exactly where they're at on that ship.
Yeah, Dennis, it was a senior chief got busted down to a chief, so lost one rank, and I'm sure that's probably the end of them. They're probably going to retire as a E7 instead of a E8 now. But stupid is as stupid does. So it's crazy that some of the stuff that goes on. Yeah, that was stupid. Hey, Joey, good to see you, buddy. James tried to come back in, but his thing blinked up in the back and then it went off again. So I think he's still trying to get there. His signals. He's probably going through the country. And if you've never been to Canada, I can say it now. If you've never been to Canada, you see what's behind Charlie there? Field. That's what you see in Canada. Once you get outside the city, it's just fields and fields and fields where I was. So I'm pretty sure that's the same for James, where he is, and mountains because he's near the Rockies up there. Let me see. My wife saw the first couple of Navi bills, and we are talking. We're still talking, so I need to buy a couple more items. Yeah, it's easy. I mean, I impulse bought at Hive Life that $1,500 bottling machine that I've used one time, and now Hilco knocked it off and has one half the price, right, or less than half the price.
I think it's about $1,000 for that thing. I'm not sure.
Is it? What does anyone?
Well, I know the pump is on sale for $999. I think.
Oh, that pump for the floor pump. You gonna get one?
Yeah.
Not interested. Well, for the amount of honey I do, I can bottle out of my bottler pretty fast.
Phil says
I can bottle more than I want to bottle. I could put 10 gallons. I could put 15 gallons in my bottler, and that's a lot for one time, right? To just bottle out and have sitting there.
I got my max amp bottling tank, and I mean I'm averaging 20 to 30 pounds a week on bottling, and I can do that in 10 minutes.
And
I've got to the point where I can look at that bottle and I'll be within. I know where it comes up to on different size bottles, and I can be within a couple tenths of an ounce.
I am doing the Charlie thing this year, though. I bottled a bunch to begin with, and I've got a bunch of pints bottled, and I wish I wouldn't have. I wish I would have just bucketed it, and then as I needed it, bottled it, warmed it, bottled it, and then I really don't even need a warmer, really. I mean, I've got the warmer, but I have a tendency of putting stuff in the warmer and then forgetting about it, and then it gets really dark, right? And some of the honey actually did turn flavored, like it turned like it tasted burnt almost.
Really?
And which doesn't make sense because you wouldn't think it was hot enough. But I guess if you leave something at 100 degrees long enough, it's going to slowly cook, right? So,
yeah, one thing I
gotta turn mine off.
You gotta turn it off. I just leave it on and put stuff in as I need it, and I probably need to be doing that too, just shutting it down and then turning it on a couple days ahead of time or something. But I don't know if
I got that hot box, and one thing I added to it was I got myself a fan in there to blow that hot air around.
Yeah, I've got that too.
Now the buckets on the bottom are as liquefied as the one that sits up on top of one of them. And I'm thinking I'm going to back the heat back off of that a little bit because I don't really need to be that hot.
Now with your Inkbird, when you unplug it
I
and
don't
then plug it back in, does it stay programmed?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to reprogram it.
No. But I'm going to back it off some, I think.
So you've been able to do creamed honey with your speed fill. That's pretty interesting. Some people have said their creamed honey. I don't know if it was because it wasn't the speed fill or if there's something different about the speed fill, but some people with other brands have had trouble pumping creamed honey with it.
I just don't, for me, I don't need to do that. I don't, if I was bottling cases of honey, yes, but I'm not doing that. I'm bottling, I don't know, 15 bottles, maybe 20 bottles at one time. Like I say, 10, 15 minutes, I'm done. And I bottle, and I keep so much in the office where I sell, with so much in the back room is storage room, so I'll keep 10 1-pounders and 8 2s. And I've actually 3-pounders have really stepped up on selling. And
yeah, my 3-pounders have 2.
I people come in and buy 2 of them at a time.
I had that happen this week too.
And so now instead of me, I used to keep like 1 in the office and maybe 2 or 3 in the back room. And now I keep 2 of them in the office because they'll come in. I'll take them both, and then I started, if I had the 2 in the office, I'll keep a total of 6 of them bottled all the time because they seem to go out the door quite frequently. Used to be I would sell 1 3-pound a month if I was lucky. Now I'm selling them 2 or 3 of them, I'll say 4 of them, about 1 a week.
You got more customers getting addicted to it.
Yeah, well, I'm curing so many people, it's the word's been getting out and all that.
You're curing people?
I'm curing people. The word's got out. But
yeah, Sean, those are products that I'm carrying now. I only have like 10 of these and 9 of these, so I didn't get a bunch of them. But to give you an idea, what I say, this will do 75 gallons of syrup. 75 gallons. 6 grams, 453 divided by 6. I think it's 75.
Yeah, now see where if you're bottling 360 pounds at a time, I can see where you need a bottling machine. But if you're getting to that point, then I would be buying something like what Lloyd's got.
Yeah, Lloyd's got that impact filler, the piston filler
or whatever.
I get 30 pounds for a 3-pound bottle. I get $10 a pound. It doesn't matter what size bottle it comes in. It's $10 a
$30.
pound.
That's what I'm getting right now.
I sell mine for 35.
I've got about $1 invested in the lid and bottle of those 1-pound milk. The 3-pound milk jug is what I call them. They look like a milk jug a little bit. Well, I don't know. You've seen them before, but I get them from Gamber. I think there's 126 of them in a case or something like that, or
something like that. I forget now.
Yeah.
But the beauty is, Charlie turned me onto this, and I love it. They all use the same lid, so it doesn't matter if you get the 1 pound, the 2 pound, the 3 pound, the half, whatever. You can use the same lid and get one case.
It's all 38 millimeter flip top lid, and they all fit every size bottle they got.
And they've all got the security seal.
You buy a case of lid, and which is 1,700 lids in a case, and they'll last you a couple years if you sell
I think I'm going on my 3rd year with those.
with a case of lids.
Yep.
I think it. I know I went through. I just bought a new case of lids. Like you say, it may be about 3 years worth, but I'd have to look it up on my.
I'll say 2.5 because I did like 500 pounds last year and 1,200 pounds this year. But some of my stuff I put in mason jars, right? So the pint size, the 1.5 pounds.
Right.
Well, so far, number of items I've sold since January 1 of this year, I've sold 658 bottles.
658 bottles of honey.
Yeah, different
sizes.
Different sizes. I go number of items. It's 658 items. I've sold 1,148 pounds of honey. 46 bears, 252 1-pounders, 229 2-pounders, and 123 3-pounders. And I got 8 quart jars, but I know there's some that numbers I'll say off because of one lady buys it in 2 half-gallon bottles and stuff and all that.
Well, I guess if you pre-order them, you can count them on your taxes for this year. Yeah, that's the thing with Gamber for us down here is the shipping. So, the shipping is because it's such a big box.
A gallon is what? 12 pounds in a gallon?
12 pounds to a gallon, yep.
Be $120, Jess.
So I bought 2 cases last year of 1-pound bottles. I think I bought 1 case the first year. So I've got 3 cases of the 1-pound bottles. And I forget, was it 300 something in a?
I think it's like 321 in a case.
321 in a case. And then you get, I think it's 126 of the 3-pound in there.
And then 200 and some of the 2-pounders. I forget what it is now. I buy a case of a case of 1s, 2s, and 3s every year.
I simplified my stuff. People just want 1-pounders and 3-pounders.
All right, let's see. 1 pound, there's 321 in a case. There's 168 2-pounders in a case and 126 3-pounders in a case. So you got about Bob's, if you bought it, the most recent prices, you're about 80
cents.
85, a little bit under 85 cents.
Yeah, but then you got to add the shipping in, right?
Yeah.
Well, you go pick it up, but I got to get it shipped. So it's like $1.
My club members go pick it up for me.
You have them go pick it up and order it as a club?
I order it through the club and let them pick it up. They might make $1 or $2.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Pints and quarts. So I don't know. I mean, there's one thing a guy told me when I first started. He says, you're going to sell honey. You put honey in honey containers and sell it in that are designed for honey, which I pretty much do, except for like mason jars. I'll fill people's glassware. I got 6, 7, 8, 9. I got about 10 pounds of glass, 10 pounds of honey to put in glass right now for people, for one lady. I think she probably buys 60 pounds of honey a year, at least a 5-gallon bucket worth and everything.
Yeah, I got a customer that wants 21-pounders. for Christmas gifts.
Yes, that's a nice order.
Yeah.
Shipping, I will tell you about shipping, James says. Let me see. It's ship out and go get.
Yeah, I mean,
Find a
how
way
much
to-
does it cost you for shipping, Bob?
Oh, I think it was. I'd have to look back at my email. Let me see.
$40.
cheap.
Let me see.
Well, you know, when it comes to shipping, like frames or whatever, you know, like you have to say, is it cheaper? You know, if you have to go pick it up and you know, looking at your time and gas, and if you have to stay over and come back the next day, I mean, there's $100 and some for a motel room.
Let me see.
All that.
This is attached.
Yeah, I used to sell half pounds, but all my suppliers say, don't worry about it.
They charge. So I got a case of 3-pound bottles. It was $94.05.
And
And they
shipping?
charged me $40.50 to ship it. So it cost me, what's that, $134.55, something like that, for a case. So it's that was the first one. Let me see if I got any more. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Sales order quote. So the order before that, I ordered a case of lids, 1,700 lids. Cost me $133.53 when I ordered it in 22. March of 22. And a case of 1-pounders cost me 97. And for some reason, where's the shipping price on here? Oh, they gave me free shipping for some reason on that. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was $93.66 for 2 cases. On
For
that
shipping?
one. For shipping.
$50 or $45 a case or whatever.
So
I checked on Acorn, and if I bought 2 cases of frames, it was like $55 a case shipping. And then if you bought 4 cases, then it was $100 and some for shipping. And it was, I'll say around 30, or it was like it was 20% off. So it was in the $30 to $40 range, something like that. That's what the calculator said.
let me see.
So anyway, it is, you know, seemed like I'm, you know, lucky enough to be able to close this when it comes to bottles. So, and we got woodenware suppliers locally.
Yeah, we don't have any of that stuff here.
Yeah, I know there was a person who moved down in your area there someplace. And they were saying they were, you know, transitioning from here down to there. And like, man, we around here, we go here, there, and everywhere and pick up bee equipment supplies.
Told them
And
to
down
call me.
there, it's like a desert.
Got nothing.
Nothing.
Got one spot, and they probably don't have what you want anyway. And if you want to ask somebody or tell them what you want, then the person you're talking to doesn't know what you want, what you're talking about. especially if you want like 500 frames or something like that. You're not going to find that. I mean, you might as well just go ahead and order it.
I buy all my
Alright, Randy,
frames in Nabby. That's one reason why I go.
Where
I just
Navi?
pick it up. Get a little bit better price and then free shipping. I'm the shipping.
Yeah, I mean, in your situation, it's relatively close, and then you can take a truck or something that's got a cab or a trailer or something that you can store stuff without people stealing it. You're in good shape.
Right. Well, I just wait till Saturday to pick everything. Saturday morning to pick everything up.
Yeah,
Just
but
let me know where you're parking. I'll be up there.
what are you driving?
I drive a truck, Toyota.
So it's got a cab on or a cap on it.
It's got a cap on it.
Well, as like I say, you got something you can put inside
Right.
and all that.
And I got the double cab, so I got some room in a cab too.
Right.
I think I need to start rounding up frames. And you think it's too early to start re-waxing?
For you? Maybe not for you. For me, yeah.
I mean, I've got a good
Why does it matter?
November, December, January.
Because the fresher it is, the more likely they'll use it. They
I mean,
love the
I've got some
smell
drawn
of
comb right
melted
now.
wax. I have my wax metal out there, and once it starts melting, the bees just come right to it.
Right now we got really nothing. I mean, nothing blooming to speak of. Maybe some weeds out there, but when they started hitting trash cans and stuff, I was like, oh, I got to throw some feed on these girls and get them heavier.
Yeah, I went in a couple of my hives Sunday, 2 days ago, and I was surprised how much brood was in them. All this warm weather, and we're
They're
getting.
flying. They're eating.
I talked to my friend, or I text him if he's ever seen. He's a third generation beekeeper, and if he knew anything from his dad or his grandpa of having spring in the fall time, and he says has no recollection of that ever happening, where the spring flowers are blooming, purple dead nettle, the dandelions, the wild cherry trees, the culinary pear trees. My wife's hosta's blooming. There's all kinds of stuff blooming. So my bees are building up like it's springtime.
Looks like 63% of the people polled said they are not going to Cayman Con.
Well, all I can say, they're missing out.
Yeah. Just the experience of seeing all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it is fun. I had a good time. But when I went to Hive Life, I went to none of the speakers, right? Because the way we did it was when everybody left to go do the speaking, that's when we did our walk arounds inside of the vendor area to show people, or we did our little lives, right? Lee and I did lives inside.
And that Nabby was a little different. When people went to go to the shows, the population out in the floor didn't change that much. At least it didn't seem like it. There's that many people there.
I mean, one nice thing about Louisville, where if you got the ticket, you get the cloud and be able to watch all that. And I've only watched a few of them.
Yeah, that's how I
To be
am.
quite honest with you, it's like Bob says. If you watch YouTube, you've already seen it. For the most
Right.
part.
They talk about the same stuff.
All right, next Wednesday, not tomorrow, but the following week, I got one of Cayman's presenters coming to my club, you know, as far as zooming in and all that. So
You should live it
and
on your
all.
channel.
Not sure how I would do that, but
You know, speaking of creamers, ever since I got the creamer, once I turned it on, it has not been shut off. It's been constantly spinning the honey around, churning the honey 15 minutes an hour for the last however long it's been since I've had that creamer.
had it for
3-4 months.
3 or 4 months at least.
It's been creaming, and it's still
Have you
still
got
going.
it? And you've been making batches?
No, I haven't. I haven't bottled any. I need to go ahead and get some maybe 2-gallon or 1-gallon buckets and or some kind of container that I can just do maybe.
So you've been spinning the same batch for 4 months?
Just spinning it, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what kind of mess it's going to be.
The
And I
guy,
haven't added any. I haven't added any liquid honey to it either, so it's just been
yeah.
doing its thing.
It's the guy talking about Amatraz resistance, Brian. And as far as downtown, Brian, you've got Louisville Slugger factory there. That's what we went and saw. There was like a movie, and you go through the factory showing them how to make baseball bats and stuff like that.
All right, I got to ask you, because I'm watching these returns on the other screen over here since nobody wanted to watch them over here. And I'm not familiar with Pennsylvania politics at all.
Yeah.
But every poll that I've seen up in this point said it's going to be really close, a close battle up there, right? But right now, Harris is like killing Trump in that poll or in the returns. And do they start with like the highly populated areas first, like Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and places like that, and then the country districts kind of?
I have no idea. There's a lot of counties, and you've got what the hell is this review?
Yeah, it probably all depends on what channel you're watching.
Right.
Which counties they want to show.
It's
most of all
well, it just says there's like 15% of the votes like in, right?
that's
So,
all,
there's
Yeah.
still a long way to go.
couldn't really tell you on all that.
Let me see. Roy. So the license creamer is heated and the Hilco's not. The only difference is that you have the opportunity in a heated creamer to warm it up and take all the crystals out of it and then start the process afterwards, right? And you can use it as a heated bottling tank. So that's the only difference. So other than that, I mean, as far as I know, the motors and everything are very similar, right? They still have the same timers and type of deal, and all that's the same. Mine's heated, but I haven't used the heater in it, so.
Hey, Charlie, they've done just Philadelphia and Pittsburgh so far.
Oh,
a few other little places.
They're only doing, like I say, they're only doing the cities where all the handouts go.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my Senate Republican Larry. He was our governor. He was a great governor. Left the state in financial, like $6 million to the good. The jackass that's in there now, he's spent everything. So let's see.
Hey, Bob, you should put Trump, Harris, and nobody. Because I'd vote for nobody's going to win. At least not this week.
Oh, I was
Maybe next
surprised
week.
when I went to vote, and I did the early voting for the first time ever this year.
Oh, that's what I did. I voted a month ago or last month.
But I was so here. The amount of candidates, not, it is politics day, I guess, but the amount of candidates that were running unopposed amazed me. It really amazed me how many people were going unopposed, because it's like, how can you complain about something, but you don't have any options? You're just stuck with, they can't lose.
But on some of them, I think they figure the other party figures they have a 0 chance of winning, so why even waste a resource?
That's true. That's true. So I don't know. But hey, like here, if you ran as a Republican in my local area, anybody that hits straight Republican, you would get that vote. So you do have a chance, right?
Right.
It just may not be a good chance. I don't know. But anyway.
Right. They do all the statistics.
So yeah, it's, it is what it is. It's but it's just
the one thing I learned, like the last election or whatever, is they always kept saying the swing states and this state and that, the news media is always saying these are the ones, and it's it's about the electoral vote college and the votes, the electoral points. And
Right.
and I said, okay, now they were explaining, this one here has so many points and this one, that one. And then it's like, okay, now I get it. Why they want to win this state, because it's not the state they want to win. They want to win their points. So they get the 270 electoral college votes.
Right.
And all that stuff. And a lot of people don't like that, but I tell you, our forefathers that set our government up and our electrics and stuff, I have to say, they were super smart back then.
And they were all young too. If you look at their ages, they were very young.
All 20-year-olds, most of them.
Yeah, all of them were like 20.
A lot of
really
early 20s.
smart. And because most people don't understand the electoral college. Whereas if you live out in the Midwest in one of them big states out there where population to the area of the ground is very small percentage, the East Coast and the West Coast, where the majority of the country's population is, would rule everything in between, and they would never get any, I'll say on how things would be run. So the electoral college kind of balances that power out to where they have a little more say across the board and everything. But how they figured all that stuff out in the 1700s is pretty darn shrewd, I think.
They tried to future-proof
They
as
did.
much as they could.
And they were early 20-year-olds, most of them, 22 to 25-year-olds, and a few upper 20-year-olds.
I agree with Brian on the daylight savings time. I'm not sure about the electoral college.
Yeah, I know one thing. When I retire, I'm not switching times. It's going to stay on daylight saving time year round.
Well, that's like my father's uncle. He was up in the mountains there. Basically, he lives real close to where Ricky Rourke lives, and or he did. And he said, like you say, he was in the mountains on a farm and everything. He never changed anything. It was whatever time it was he liked. That was it year round.
I'm kind of getting that way already. I don't need a clock anymore. My body tells me when I'm hungry, when I need to go to sleep. I don't need a damn darn clock just so I can go to work.
Mark says, "Give California back to Mexico."
Poor Todd. He's going to be a Mexican.
But anyway, people can't. One guy came in today and he was like, "Oh, he's all wound up about it today." I said, "It's just, I said it's just another day." "Oh, no, it's not." I said, "Yeah, it is." I said, "It don't matter who gets in there. Is it going to change any? No. Doesn't matter who gets in there, it's all going to stay the same.
I'm
It's not going to affect us personally, you know. Now, maybe we might have some effect, let's say from the county up to the state level, but that's as far as it goes, I think.
I'm just glad all my kids voted 5 for 5.
Yeah. But
This is,
anyway,
it'd be interesting to see.
yeah, I ain't gonna lose any sleep over it. That's for sure.
Well, I guess if I wake up in the morning and there's riots going on, I guess Trump won, and if there aren't, I guess Kamala won. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you and you know, like you say, if they had, let's say, a riot, I said they're a bunch of sore losers. You know, it's like people. You know, it's like the last time. What was it when Trump won? There was one of them television show personalities on there. She's I forget what her name is. She's real leftist, and there was somebody who made a collage of videos, you know, where it really caught the media off guard. And it was all these different, like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh type things. And
All
she said,
were
no,
melding.
huh?
They were all melding.
Oh yeah,
Melting.
they were oh, you know, like sound like the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm melting. But that this one lady on there, she's had some kind of a left wing talk show, and oh, this is not. She was saying to the public, you know, this is not a bad dream. It's really true that he won and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, so what? You know, it's like, yeah, you think something's gonna, you know, that the end of the world just hit or something. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just, I kind of find out what's the matter. Your money flow just got snipped, where you had some kind of, you know, backdoor, you know, cash flow coming in of some sort from the government. I don't know. Who knows? Hey, Sandy. Get some snow out there in Western Maryland, Sandy, or a dusting maybe. So
you don't hear my wife talking in there.
I hear somebody talking.
I hear somebody. I didn't know who that
I'm
was.
gonna tell her to be quiet. I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm going to check the weather, see if the rain's here yet.
I don't know. I need some rain bad. It's been 33 days since we had no water at all.
Oh, it's getting, it's kind of getting closer, but it's going to miss. First batch.
It's, I don't know. They said somewhere something about, I don't know. A little bit of rain. It's supposed to be
Apparently, my grandbaby called.
Thursday or Friday or whatever.
We're supposed to start tonight. Around midnight, I think.
Yeah, you're out there, and I see you got a pretty good slug of weather coming towards you. It's out there in
Yeah, it's
Lima, wherever.
Yeah, it's
Lima
out in
is.
Indiana now, right?
Huh?
It's out in Indiana right now. Yeah, they showed starting around 1 o'clock.
What, rain?
Yeah,
Well, you're off what, the left side of Cincinnati, right?
I'm on the
The western side there. It's close to you right now.
yeah, it is, but that's heading northeast. Yeah, it's close. Close don't count.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, it does.
I know. And yard darts.
Yard. Oh, remember those jarts? You remember playing with those, Charlie?
Oh, yeah, I
The
had them.
two
Yeah.
hula hoops and these
What's
big.
that? Yard darts?
Yeah, the jarts. Yeah. They had a big metal tip on it, man. It could kill somebody.
Hmm. Sandy gets a lake effect snow. Never thought about that.
Yeah.
What's that? She gets the shoot. What's the lake out there in Maryland? She gets the Deep Creek Lake Sneckophus. A snowpack.
When I used to live up north of Fort Wayne, Indiana, it'd be partly cloudy with 3 inches of snow. And it would be partly cloudy, and we'd get 3 inches of snow. It would just be squalls coming off Lake Michigan.
Mhm.
The
So, Sandy, I know you work in the coal mines. Do you go down under the ground, or you just stay in the office?
I live here where we get snow once a decade,
Yeah.
maybe twice a decade if it stays cold for a whole week.
I think my area is 30 inches or 33 inches of winter is the average. But I know that's been going down because we haven't been getting that.
Snow?
Yeah.
We might get 3 inches a year if we're lucky.
Well, the last 5 years we get about. Last year we didn't get more. I don't think we got more than an inch. The year before that was like 3 inches. So I don't know what our average is now. It might be 15 inches.
Hey, Tom, Melissa. Yep. Sandy, she's in the office.
So one thing interesting happened to me when I went to go poll. The polling place was like a community center.
Yeah, where I went was a firehouse.
And they were having a like a gardening class there.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, I got a bee farm like right down the road. If you guys would be interested in having a beekeeping class in here. So I left my information, and they may be calling me to put a like beekeeping basics class on. So if any of you guys got notes on beekeeping basics classes, forward them on to me. Email them to me. I'll use your notes. Save myself some work of writing one up. So that's something, kind of interesting happening in this whole thing. They got 120 inches of snow.
It gets 120.
120 inches of snow in 22, 23. Todd, I have mine on my website today. Thank you very much.
Actually,
I had it on yesterday.
James is in White Court, Alberta.
Alberta.
I was gonna say Alabama, but that's Alberta.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking on doing, making a PowerPoint, and I could always print them out and or take a laptop or something over there if they have an overhead, something to put it on. Let's see.
Yeah, but you'll be competing towards your local bee club.
Oh, I don't have one in this like area.
Mm.
I think the bee club would be me and Sam. And matter of fact, I might need to go see him. So haven't seen him in a while. I've seen he's been putting up some videos, so he must be doing okay.
Yeah, I need to put some content up.
Well, John, let's see.
I've been putting shorts videos up. That's about it.
See Malcolm? He says if next year is like this past year in Oklahoma, I'm going to have to follow Bob and get a job to support my beekeeping habit. Right now, I'm supporting my gas and driving a truck habit. I love my truck, but boy, I don't like those payments.
Yeah,
Not
I
at
won't be
all.
able to retire. No, I'm still retiring no matter what.
So here she comes. I hear her walking down the hallway. Yeah, my grandson's starting to say his first words, right? So every day it's like he's saying something different. And like he was beating on the glass like a big window. He says, "Hello, hello, what are you doing?" He's talking to his reflection in the mirror in the window. It was pretty fun, pretty funny. But you know, it's one of those things. I guess I didn't think that I would enjoy so much before I had a grandkid. Right then, I get a grandkid, and it's like, oh, this is pretty amazing. So it was like when you're a parent, right? It's just everything is happening real time to you. Now it's like, oh, you get a break, and then you get to enjoy them. Then you get a break, and you get to enjoy them. If you're tired, you just say, "I gotta go, hang up."
Right. Right.
Call back later.
I'm busy tonight.
Yes. So it's yeah, I gotta watch what I say on my lives now. Yeah. Well, hey, next month, I mean, I'm gonna have another grandbaby, so
There
it's
you
gonna
go. Congrats.
be the family's growing. So the thing with my next grandbaby though, it's the grandbaby that's carrying on the family name, right? So my son was the last one in the line to carry on the family name, and now his son will be the last one. So it's got to keep that name, keep it going. So it's gonna be fun times. And it'll be tiring because I know I'll have to work all night, and as soon as I get off, I'll get a call. Oh, she just went into labor, and then I'll have to drive an hour up there, hour and a half up there, and do that. Hopefully, one of these kids will decide, hey, need to beekeep, and we can share some knowledge with them going forward. Try to. Well, guys, I know we normally go 2 hours, but how y'all feeling?
I'm tired. That's
How are
just
you?
me.
You got to get up tomorrow morning, don't you, Bob?
I got to get up, but I mean, I don't have to get up like I normally do. I don't have to get up at 1 in the morning. I can sleep in a little bit.
Till 3.
Yeah. I slept an extra 2 hours. Well, it's still 3 in the morning. No, I usually get up around 6 and go then, because one of my stores doesn't open till 7 a.m. So there's no need to even get there before then. But I got to build a couple displays in there tomorrow. It's always fun.
Well, it's paying the bills, I guess is the best way to explain it.
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of paying the bills a little bit.
You still got your ProVap?
Yeah, I got my ProVap. I really like that. I like the concept of that light cordless one.
I
I
mean
thought about
the compact one.
the compact one, the new.
Yeah, the one that Brad's got.
Yeah. Well, he's got 2 now, right? So he's got
2 compacts, and then he was demoing the mini.
yeah, the mini one. I like that one. Brad was saying he really likes it because he says he's constantly the whole time he's just loading and filling and shooting, loading, filling and shooting because he's got multiple now. He can just go back and forth. So
I was thinking about that tonight, and I was hoping he'd be on here.
he's got a meeting tonight.
And he was, is he doing on his singles? Is he doing 2 grams or more? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I was just
And I don't know the legalities where
because of
he's at.
his mite issues and stuff like that. I was like, maybe maybe he needs to kind of step it up a little bit more and all that. I'm not sure.
This I switched channels over here on watching the election coverage, and it's like that screen is just clicking back and forth different things. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I just have one. I clicked in. It's called I call it Electoral Results 2024, and it's just a map, and it has basically for just the presidential.
Yeah, that's what I got on. Right now, Trump's got 194 and Harris got 95.
Yeah, but
Mine
California has got 54 votes.
Yeah. And it looks like Georgia and North Carolina is going to go Trump.
Well, mine's showing 177 for Trump and 99 for her.
What's Maryland doing?
Oh, Maryland's always Democrat, don't you know?
Yeah.
It's always a Democrat state.
Is that because of Baltimore?
No, because of you got all the liberals right around Washington D.C. that works
Close to D.C.
Oh, I got you. And they all
those are highly populated, and that was another thing when I was figuring out and going to school and whatever. And then one of our governors was a Republican. He did finally get in over most all of them are Democrat, and there's like 3 major counties that wrap around DC that pretty much because of the population rule the whole entire state. Not the fact that the rest of the state isn't, well populated, but it just seems like the concentration or whatever down there, it seemed like they rule over that. I got like one guy,
Russell says the swamp lives there.
Yeah, that's about right, Russell.
That's
pretty
but
good.
They were voting on, I forget what it was, and like you say, these 3 or 4 major counties just blew it. There was voting on whatever that was, and whatever they said it was, that ruled the whole darn state. So all that stuff. So that's the way it goes. But no, as far as the bees, I mean, they're all kind of put to bed. They're all well fed. Like I say, I just started doing my OA. As far as the majority of them, the drops look good, minimal, 10, 12 mites out of a drop after a 24-hour period. I did have one nuke that, like I say, you had you got your big chloroplast board, and they're like a little bit here and here and here, and then that wasn't much. But then you had that one nuke that had it all kind of concentration of mites right there. And there was a lot of them right there. And I'm like, okay, that one there needs to get hit. And along with about 4 or 5 of the other 10 framers were it was kind of the same scenario. It was like, okay, where's the mites at? And you're trying to scan the board to find them. Then you get the ones, oh, they're the mites right there. They just stand right out at you because they're concentrated in one big spot. And I'm like, okay, we need to hit these and stuff like that again. So I did that Sunday morning. And then I went over to my neighbor that helps me pull honey, and he's done Aprivor this year. He bought some Appy tablets for me, put them in. And then I went over there and OA vaped him Sunday. He's only got 6 hives, but I told him I'd be back, as time I start doing this OA vape. I'm like, okay, let me come over here and we put the generator in the back of his side by side and take it down there, and it takes a few minutes.
right.
And then all I do is just stick them in the front entrance, and either he's got an entrance reducer in there, or we put a towel in one side and just let the smoke fly. Hopefully that'll help him out. He helps me out quite a bit and all that stuff. And then,
Yeah, I do mine from the back, and I don't even put a towel in my front entrance anymore because that stuff rises so fast, being 400 degrees. I didn't
well,
notice
with
any
mine, I
difference.
have those on my videos. I got those styrofoam insulation strips that I made, cut, and I
Yeah,
jam that into the front, keeps the bees in, because that was one thing. I like going out there in the mornings if it's about 45, 48 degrees. Well, when I should have been out there, that's when work calls, and so I had to do the vaping in the afternoons, and the bees were flying somewhat, and I had to deal with that. But I try to get out there when it's cool. Then I can block them in, and they don't, I don't have to fight the bees and all that. But
right.
I like to see I got started. That's the main thing. And from what I can see between my mite treatments and everything is. I mean, seems like to me that the mite's load is good. I don't. As far as now, I don't bust them open because of seals, and I just use the drop board to kind of give me an idea of what's going on. Kind of like Ian. I mean, Ian had the same thing where he was doing those white sticky boards and counting. And then he was showing that last video where the bottom board was just loaded with mites and stuff. He was considering to continue vaping them before he puts them in the shed, which that's what I would do. I had one nuke there several years ago that there was a tremendous amount of drop out of the first time I hit them. And it took me about 3 or 4 vaporizations to reduce that number down.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point now, Charlie, that if that hive's got a lot of mites in it, I'm just going to get rid of the queen and put a different queen in.
Has a lot of mites, you say, Tom?
Yeah, I don't even treat. I mean, I'll just get rid of, just change them out because I'm finding out that it's just a few hives that got all the mites in them.
Hmm.
Most of the hives are taking care of them, taking care of the mites.
And then I also, I mean, as far as like I got appy tablets in my hives, and like I pulled that one, I pulled it out, and I don't. There was a wad of bees right there, and I don't know whether the tablet was right there because you can kind of see where I put the tablets underneath the 2 frames. It raised them frames up because you know where they're at. And
Right,
I think they've been in there long, where the honey's not coming in, and they're consuming that, I think, prior to um, the consuming the honeys in the frames and stuff like that. So like I say, everything is looking good right now.
right.
So I just keep on hitting them about twice a month with a vapor, and I always like to say check the drop boards. And if you can just kind of maintain that low level mite loads, it should work
Right.
fine. I don't know. I got fresh queens in there, so hopefully all that will work for me, and I'll have a rocking um, yeah, Mike, Malcolm, couple $1,000. True, but it's also the experience and stuff. For me, it's a vacation.
Yeah, to me, it's a mental break. I don't think about anything else for those few days but being there.
Hashtag Charlie Thomas 75. Get
75
75, Tommy.
Nah, I've been up close to 50. That was enough for me. That's where
Right.
if I had all day Saturdays to do something and all that, I might run a little bit more, but I don't. And
I want to keep about the same number. It'll be just in the summertime with all my nukes. I'll be up there in higher numbers, but 24 production hives, around 6 resource hives, and anywhere from 20 to 40 nukes throughout the summer, depending on when I graft and when I'm selling them.
Yeah, Dennis, we'll be
That's
out
enough.
hanging around.
Okay, 100 then.
Nah, you can forget that.
If you count the
Mine's
resource
on
hives,
68.
around 30 hives, and then I can do 35 nukes at one time. So at most I'll have, if every queen makes it and gets mated, I'd have 65 hives at one time. And not any sold. But I'll be doing all my I do all my grafting in 2 weeks increments, or 1 week at the worst case, just so they're not all getting mated at the same time. So I'll do a graft of 10, a graft of 10, or 15 to get 10, and make up my nukes.
I don't know. It's like we were talking about the number of hives and everything. I don't know. I've got right now around 24. I have enough room for 28. And one thing I noticed is, that, you have less input costs to go as far as feed and medication and things like that. And then you can kind of get things done a little quicker. It don't take you as long.
Congratulations, Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis. So he's going to be the president of my local bee club. Well, I'm going to be the outgoing president for mine this year. I've been at it for 5 consecutive years. And I'm done. I'm burned out. I still have to be as an advisory past president for the next year after that. But I've been on the board of directors for, well, I'll be 10 years. Yeah, but it's either been the vice presidency or the presidency. And it's been fun. It's just this here lately, it's kind of gets tiring.
Yeah, my summer will be interesting because I got a good knee now, or it's getting better.
What is it?
I'll be able to do more beekeeping stuff with a good knee versus limping around.
Yeah. Like I say, I mean, I'm hoping that my 16 production hives will give me a good for the state level. Yeah, I don't know about that. It's not much. It's not that good. It's state. I don't know. That's a real headache. But yeah, there's some folks that are on that. They live in them swamp counties around the thing, and I mean, one of them, we kind of busted heads again, several years back, and I despise her, but she's one of them. She just got her master beekeeper's license. It's like, yeah, all right, big deal. But anyway, I don't know. I like the setup. Hopefully I can, keep. I got one production hive went down on me. The queen took a dump. It killed the queen that I put in there. So I need to take one of my nukes and put it in place and get it up and running this year. And then I've got 5 of those new hives that were in double deep. So even with my hive lifter, they are a pain to work with. And at least I find them to be. I am going, the first thing I'm going to right out the gate early March, I'm going to take and drop some medium. I'll think probably a couple medium 10 frame brood chambers right on top of the double deeps and let those bees migrate up into that. And hopefully they'll be migrating enough high up in there that they'll, I can pull the bottom box out of the mix and over a period of time cycle out the double deeps.
Yeah, Charlie, I already shut down 3 of my production hives. Pinched the queen and shook the bees out a few weeks ago.
Well, I had the one there that had a queen in there and wouldn't do nothing, wouldn't lay. So I got rid of her. I went and bought a queen late in the season. And, you know, it's like I've been advised by different people that are more experienced than mine that late season introductions of queens are pretty hard to get done. So
Yeah,
they
it's
let her
hard.
lay up 4 frames of brood or 3 frames of brood, and they must have got rid of her. And then they put queen cells in. Well, that didn't work. And I said, all right, I'm done with this crap. It was getting really late. You know, the queen cells is not going to be any good because there's no drones.
Right. They weren't up to stuff to
So
my
I
standards.
scratched the cells off, put all the brood frames in other hives and shook the bees out what was left of them, took the equipment away and took it home. You know, that was the end of that.
Right. I'm over wondering a dozen or so, 13 nukes. So what? I'll just replace them with the nukes next year. And they're not 5 frame nukes. Some of them are 12 frame nukes. Some of them are 8 frame nukes. So I'll be able to put a whole 10 frame hive out there.
Yeah. What's the elections about? Is that what you're looking at, Bob?
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the states where they have them blue right now, but but like most of the districts haven't even reported, right? So the big cities, which are typically Democrat, right? They're blue, so those are showing. But all the other people in the state, like out in the farms
Right.
and everything, they haven't reported in yet. So it's still showing. So yeah,
The one I'm looking at.
Once every 4 years, I get.
They are looking. They're leading in Republican votes in Virginia, North Carolina, and Georgia, but nobody's taken the state. Pennsylvania is up for grabs, leaning towards Democrat. And
Yeah, so Philly, Allentown, and Pittsburgh and Erie all went blue, and the rest of the state is pretty much red, except for some of them that haven't reported in yet. So, and it's it's still pretty. It's like 52 to 46%. So,
well, it's still early.
yeah, it's early.
You know.
Yeah, I just turned it off.
Well, one thing right now is like Virginia. He wasn't expected to win Virginia, yet right now it looks like he is going to win Virginia, but they're still counting, I guess.
Yeah.
57% have reported, but the whole state looks red, except for around Norfolk and Richmond. Rest of it, and right up around, Alexandria, which is, southern Maryland. Right. So yes, it's interesting to me, but yeah, I don't think Washington's going to go red. It says results are expected around 11 p.m. in Maryland.
Well, all the western states are not reporting because it's not in the same time frame or whatever.
Yeah, they haven't even closed polls over there yet. Like another 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes. So yeah, it's interesting. But a lot of this is projection. They haven't even called the states necessarily.
Right.
Yep, that is true, Brian.
Yep, I agree with that. Don't matter who gets in there. It'll still be the same.
Yeah, still be a new life.
Well,
The low life beekeeper chat will always be here for everybody.
yeah, I think maybe Reagan and when Nixon was in was the last two times that Washington State has been red. But yeah. Anyway, I think we'll call it a little bit early on account of the elections, and
That's a poor.
not much happening with the bees. Right now it's just
No, not really.
It's that time of year, except for the southern people.
The biggest thing is for me is like this week we're supposed to have some 80-degree days this week. Here it is November.
right.
But
But I was,
I mean, I've
that's,
been.
that's what I'm having now, Charlie.
I might have to start giving my bees pollen patties for Thanksgiving dinner if it
Yeah.
stays warm like
Well,
this.
the thing of it is, what worries me is about 3 or 4 years ago, we had really warm weather, just like we're doing right now, all the way up to around Christmas time. And then come April, March, April, May, it was cold as ice. And it was all the way till like the middle of May before the weather finally got warm. And I'm looking at blooms and stuff like that. Because for me, May is the main honey month for me. I'm worried about
Right.
that. Now I've been watching, I always watch a little science, some stuff, and they talk about like the sun. It was like, here a couple weeks ago, we had the northern lights, that normally we can't see and all that kind of stuff. Well, that was due to a huge solar flare that the sun produced. And because of the magnetic fields and all that stuff. And, that's the way the solar system is heated by these flares. The more flares, the warmer the earth will be. And it used to be here in the past that the sun has two different phases. It's a warm phase and a cooling phase, less flares basically. And it's been in the less flare mode for quite a few years. And now it's starting to kick back up again. They don't know why, but I'm thinking that's why our weather is so warm here lately, especially in the wintertime. I don't know.
Who knows?
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everybody coming in. I'm glad I got to come on for a little while tonight and hang out with you fine folks. And even Charlie.
Yeah.
And, whoever you voted for, hopefully you get the results you were looking for. And, if you don't, see you again in 4 years, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll be
Yeah,
I won't even have to really look. I can just look at Facebook, and Facebook will tell me everything I need to know by the posts, because
That's true.
it's pretty crazy. But anyway, you guys have a good night. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Nice, Bob and Charlie and the gang out there.
Yep.